We are live. Happy Sunday,
Happy
everyone.
Sunday, everybody.
Me and T
I
are red and
am.
blue today. We're on team red and blue
Yes.
today.
And you know what was crazy is I came so close to wearing red.
Yeah, that's funny though, because I knew I was gonna wear red, and I said I wonder if T's gonna wear red because we've done that before. Where we both
Hmm
showed up in red.
I actually thought about it, and I was like, nah, I think I'm gonna just do blue.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to contend with the circles on my eyes because I chose to be four eyes today, but it's okay. All right, so hello, everyone.
Hello,
Welcome back to our
everyone.
Sunday book club, Pages and Perspectives. I'm Azelin, and this is T. And um, as we always say, and Perspectives is a live, community-centered book club where we explore meaningful books through open conversation and shared reflections. What we do here is just take our time to have an hour of growth where we just talk about what we've read over the week, our different perspectives. This is not a space to judge, condemn, or fix. We just listen, and the whole purpose of sharing different perspectives is to have different outlook. That's how we grow. So this is what we do here. Of course, we're reading The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F by Mark Manson, and we are finished after this week. We read
Last
chapter
chapter,
9.
y'all. Last
Yeah,
chapter.
chapter 9 of this great, great, great book. And thank you all for tuning in.
And
Through
welcome, Elevated. I see Elevated saying hello.
I
Hello.
elevated. How are you? All right. And so with that being said, T will go ahead and get us started with the overview.
Okay, so this week was chapter 9, so it's the final chapter of the book. And I have to say, it's one of the most powerful
Hmm.
chapters in the book. And why is because it focuses on a simple but honest truth, and that is we're all going to die.
Hmm.
And that is a hardcore topic to address. Like I
Right.
know that but he manages to make it not a
Right.
heavy topic to address. He
Hmm.
starts off this chapter by talking about the death of his friend that had passed away when they were teenagers. They were at a party together, and this friend decided to do basically some daredevil stuff, jump off a cliff into the water, and, unfortunately did not make it.
Hmm.
And he talks about how that impacted him moving forward. I think at first it was a lot of fear. It instilled a lot of fear in him. He was kind of walking on eggshells, very depressed,
Hmm.
couldn't get over it, and just kind of moseying through life, not really trying to address his true feelings with what happened to his friend.
Hmm.
And what he realized along the way is that instead of avoiding the idea that we're all going to die someday, he challenged himself to face that head
Right.
on, because that awareness of our mortality actually, it gives our lives meaning.
Hmm.
And I know that sounds counterproductive. It doesn't sound like it goes together, but it
Hmm.
does.
Right.
The realization that our time here is finite
Hmm.
makes you want to live every moment that you are here to the maximum.
Right. Absolutely.
So, um, when you think about it, I'm reading from my notes, y'all. When you really think about it, a lot of the things that we stress about from day to day, and what people think of us, and trying to be perfect, and trying to have status and all of those things, it really doesn't matter in the bigger picture of things,
Hmm.
because at the end of the day our time is really limited here.
Right.
We're really just supposed to be enjoying as much as we can during
Hmm.
this time,
Yes.
and we waste a lot of time focusing on external things if you really think about that.
Hmm.
um Also in this chapter, he goes into the story of Ernest Becker. And Ernest was a doctor of anthropology, if I'm not mistaken,
Mhm.
who basically found out he was terminally ill, and on his deathbed wrote a book that ended up being a Pulitzer Prize winning book, and one of the most like profound books regarding death. It's called The Denial of Death. And one of the main focuses of that was immortality projects. He talks about
Yes.
how each of us have these immortality projects. And
Mhm.
that means that we're all seeking to leave a mark.
Right.
We live our lives trying to have these little things that we do that leaves a mark. Some of us it's through our children. We want our
Mhm.
children to love us and remember us and think of us,
Mhm.
in high regard. Some of us it's we want to do something extraordinary
Right.
so that the world knows our name, like some invention or something
Mhm.
like that.
Mhm.
So, but those are all immortality projects.
Right.
They're things that we're trying to do specifically to leave our mark on this place because we know we won't be here forever.
Mhm.
And honestly, once you accept the fact that we won't be here forever, there's a shift.
Right.
Like there's a mental shift. And you start to realize that you don't really have time to waste on things that don't matter to you. You
Mhm.
really don't have time. And that ties the whole book together.
Yep. Exactly.
You don't have time to give your F's
Mhm.
on things that don't make a difference, that really have
Right.
no impact
Mhm.
to how you're enjoying these days, this limited amount of time that we have here.
Yep.
So instead, your focus should be on doing what matters to you, valuing the right things,
Mhm.
and living in a way that feels true to you,
Absolutely.
not to everyone else, to
Mhm.
you.
Mhm.
Because meaning doesn't come from extraordinary, it actually comes from being intentional.
Right.
So that's what I actually got from this chapter. I summed it up by saying, at the end of the day, it's not about how long we live or how big we become. It's
Mhm.
about how intentionally we choose to live while we're here. So that's what I
Absolutely.
got from this chapter.
Absolutely, T. That was a great, great, great overview. Absolutely great overview. Before I give my thoughts, I want to say hi to Chef Dice. Hello, Chef
Yes, I was getting
Dice.
ready to do the same thing. And
Hello,
King
King
Edits,
Edits.
Terry
Terry
Franklin.
Franklin. Hello,
Yes,
everyone. Thank y'all
welcome.
for joining us, me and T, on this beautiful Sunday. But yeah, T, this was definitely a really great chapter. It tied in everything that we read
Hmm.
by just reminding us, like you said, um, what matters at the end of the day is what we value. And then there's like a little footnote under that word value that we learned in this book is your values are determined by you. You determine what you value. You determine what's important to you. And sometimes you have to um check your values. You have to like re-examine your values and say, are these values that I carry because they really mean something to me? Or are these values that I carry because this is what I was taught? This is the way this is the what I'm used to. And that can be the thing that you measure your life by while you're here on earth. So I really enjoyed this book overall. It's
I think
definitely
it's
one.
worth the read. It is worth the
Yeah,
read. Oh, and
absolutely.
welcome Abigail and Cute Goober. Wanted to
Hi,
shout out.
Abigail. Talk to you, Goober.
um, but yeah, it's worth the read. It really
Mm-hmm.
is because it kind of brings some things to focus without being too in a comical way,
Right. Yeah.
in a realistic way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, things that we don't really want to think about. I think things
Right.
that we try to push out of the
Exactly.
forefront of our thinking.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the same thing, Oswald. I think this is actually worth a read, you guys. If you have not checked out this book, it is The
Mm-hmm.
Subtle Art of Not Giving a F
Yep.
by Mark Manson. And we're saying AF, but the title does not.
Yes.
But I will say though, if you do read it, know that there will be some swear words in here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
if it's something that is going to offend you, you may not,
Yeah,
it may not
that's a
be for
great
you.
disclaimer. That's a great
Yeah.
disclaimer. It honestly didn't bother me. It was kind of like, if anything, if I was listening to it and just on my audiobook and I hear him say a curse word, I like wake up a little bit like, oh snap,
Hmm.
that was important.
It was well placed too. They're well
Yes.
placed curse words. Uh,
uh,
honestly, he doesn't curse in an offensive way either.
mm-mm.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
Because there's a way you can curse that's like really offensive. It's not
Hmm.
in an offensive way. It's more in a comedic way.
Right.
It's more in a way that a comedian would do it. So.
Hmm. And it's like used to punctuate thoughts more
Hmm.
so, like
Yes.
really drive the point home. There were a
Hmm.
lot of moments of, oh my gosh, he said that, like in this book, not even related to curse words or swear words. Just like he made a kid comment about a kid earlier in the book, and I was like, oh snap, he said that. Like it's just like,
Hmm.
it's a really good book though. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it overall. Um,
Oh man,
Now
D Dunk popped in.
D Dunk, oh my gosh.
We got
Oh my
honored, D
gosh.
Dunk.
D Dunk.
We
What
missed you.
to what do we owe this? Oh my gosh.
I know.
Hi D Dunk. Y'all ain't talk about nothing. How are you? Can we give you a shout out? Cute goober, silly on pause. Yes, shout out to you
Shout out.
and Abby. Um,
Welcome everybody.
yes,
Welcome,
welcome
welcome,
everybody.
welcome.
Thank y'all for coming. So I will say 2T for me, because we kind of talked about what we thought this chapter would be like. Um Last week. We kind of talked about
Mm-hmm.
it just a little bit. And well, I want to talk to D Dunk a little bit. D Dunk, I'm doing well. How are you? Oh, look, a city of peace. Here's a song for you, ladies. Sweetness by Barris Hammond. Okay.
Oh, okay.
um,
We're
but
doing good, D Dunk. We're doing really
yeah,
good.
we are.
Cannot
It's good to
complain
see
at
you.
all.
Absolutely. So what was I saying? Okay, so I can see it two ways because
Mm.
for one, I can see it in the way of like when you acknowledge the fact that you're gonna eventually die, depending on I guess your beliefs, your faith, and all kind of stuff, is how that I feel like that part determines on how you're able to accept it. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Because sometimes people avoid that thought because they don't know what's going to
What's
happen.
on the other side?
Yeah,
Yes.
and so even
Mm-hmm.
the thought of thinking about what's on the other side doesn't stop the fact that it will happen one day, right? So if you could figure out that part and just how to come to terms with it, I do see how acknowledging that will lighten your life. However, I would not want to have it in my awareness too much, me personally, because I know how my thoughts are. And I know that I wouldn't want that to be something that I was like obsessively aware of. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it would affect me in a way where I would just like kind of be scared. You know what I mean? Like not not want to be like obsessive over it, but also acknowledging our life here is short. And my gem drop has to do with the portion about the immortality project because I thought that was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
How literally most people, can't say everybody, can't speak for everybody, but most people find it very important to have some sort of legacy in place or have some sort of remembrance.
Legacy. That's the perfect
Remembrance.
word too.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
it's like it's like using your life
Mm-hmm.
to I guess definitely make a difference now, but make such a difference that even when you're gone,
You're
you will
still
be
remembered.
remembered.
Yeah.
You will be remembered.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, when I read that, I thought of a scripture in the Bible that literally tells us that basically, as generations go by, you will be forgotten. I should have looked it up, but it was
I
one of those
think I
like passing
remember what you're
thoughts.
talking about though.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Oh
it was like one
man.
of those passing thoughts. So I didn't get a chance to like look for it.
I cannot
But
remember the scripture though.
yeah, but you do know what I'm talking about, where it's basically
Mm-hmm.
like it's I don't remember it, but it is saying that, with each generation your memory will be but the point that it's bringing home is that even though man will eventually forget you, God will not. That was the purpose of that in the scripture, but it's true.
Ecclesi
Oh,
1:11.
Ecclesiastes.
Yes.
Oh, what does it say?
No one remembers the former generations, and even those yet to come will not be remembered by those who follow them.
Yep,
The past and the future happenings, people will eventually, you'll fade away. Like
exactly.
in the thoughts. Yes.
Yep. Yep. And that's exactly what I thought about when I started talking about the immorality project, because that's just important to us. But I like how he uses that to say, instead of focusing on what you'll leave behind, how intentional can you be with the time that you have here right now in every present moment? How
Mm-hmm.
intentional can you be about what you're doing now? That was pretty
What
good
you're
for me.
doing in that dash.
Right,
You know
exactly.
how they always say, what did you do with the dash in between when you got here and when you leave? On your
Absolutely.
headstone, there's that dash in between those dates. What did you
Yep.
do with it? How did
Yep.
you use it? So, oh, D Dunk said he's glad that we are being consistent with this.
Yes, thank you, D Dunk.
Thank you, D Dunk.
And he said this realm is temporary. We focus on forever. Absolutely. Yeah, this realm
Mm-hmm.
this realm is definitely temporary.
It is
And that's
absolutely.
and that's even more so to think like, what are you giving your cares to while you're here in this temporary realm? Let's not even think about, because we that'd be a whole nother live if
Yeah,
we
that's
start
a
talking
whole
about
different subject.
what's after. But let's just
Mm-hmm.
talk about this temporary realm. How can we make the most of our lives as it is now? It's not stressing the small stuff, not stressing the trivial things. Oh my
Mm-mm.
gosh. I mean, y'all can know people. Y'all may be this person, or you may know people that get upset or tricked off or triggered by the smallest inconveniences. I mean, on the smallest things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just grateful that I'm not like that, honestly. Because like,
I've seen people losing it in the grocery store, child.
mhm,
Like I'm like, why are you going crazy over? Okay, you're in the line a few more minutes.
yes, right.
Okay,
Stuff like
like
that.
what is that going to do to you that is
Yeah.
so detrimental
Mm-hmm.
that they just like those things like that, those things that we give so much energy to that are
Mm-hmm.
so
Especially
trivial.
especially when T, like we talked about now Elias book, and it also brought with this book too, how it usually comes down to a control thing.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you're not in control of something, you tend to have these like outlandish reactions. But when you think about the fact that your time in this realm is temporary, you're like, who cares?
Yep.
Why would I want to stress myself out? Why would I want to, just put myself in that bad space? And we don't know how long we're gonna be here. What D Dunk? It had to be D Dunk. What do you
I
say?
can't with you.
Stay away from Diddy parties. It's crash out season.
That's what we want to do in this realm is stay away from Diddy parties.
Oh, absolutely.
But yes, it is crash out season. You see it all the time now. I think we are in a time where people are literally crashing out.
No, they are.
And I think it affects your health too.
Hmm.
Like that stress, it wears on you.
Yeah.
That is not good for your body. It's not good for your mental,
Hmm.
physical.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's just not. And it's not worth it in the
Right.
end.
Yeah, and it's also crash out season because people don't have outlets nowadays. People don't have outlets. Like
Mm-hmm.
people are overwhelmed. Nervous system dysregulation is a real thing, and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people suffer from it and don't even realize it. You know what I mean? They don't
Absolutely.
even realize that their nervous systems are in these heightened states. And so it makes it so easy to, at the drop of a dime, be triggered by any little thing. But some people take it
Mm-hmm.
way too far. Those are the crash outs. You take it way too far. You know what I mean?
Demon. Yes, Dita. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, this was a really good chapter. I felt like the part about his friend dying was very sad.
It was.
That was very, very sad because it also painted the picture of how fast something like that can happen.
Here 1 minute, gone the next kind
Here
of
going here in
thing.
1 minute, gone in next.
Yes.
So the story that he kind of told y'all was, I guess he was at a ski retreat, and he was with his friends. He went with one of the girls to go into the cabin up the hill to get something to drink or something. As he was coming down, as he was going up, his friend Josh was coming down. They said whatever, fast words, ha ha ha. And then by the time him and the girl were coming back from upstairs or up the hill, it saw commotion. And like T said in the overview, he had jumped off a cliff. He wasn't the best swimmer, and something happened to where it was dark and they could not find where he was calling from. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh. Can you imagine that? Scary. Woo!
But
But
the crazy part about it is they were joking about it when they first got there. Like, I think it was actually the author that was joking about it, saying, "Do you think we could jump off here? Like, do you think,
mm,
And Josh was like, "Yeah, people do it all the time." And probably likely in there because they were drinking, they
mm-hmm,
were partying,
mm-hmm.
probably in that state he was probably trying to be cute,
Yeah.
trying to do something
Yeah. Kind of like,
funny.
oh, when he by the time he comes down, he'll see I jumped. I'll
Mm-hmm.
show him that I jumped.
Mm-hmm.
But just that fast, something literally life changing can happen, like you losing your life
Mm-hmm.
or you losing a friend. So, I mean, honestly, when you think about life like that, I think it makes it easier to not sweat the small stuff. Now, I think that from a parent perspective, I always wonder stuff from a parent perspective. I don't know if from a parent perspective, you could ever make that thought lighter because I'm thinking that you'll always be thinking about your children and like who you
Yeah,
who you
it's
who you would be
definitely
leaving.
harder.
Who you would be leaving if
Mm-hmm.
you just passed.
Yeah, it's a harder as a parent because you cannot, you don't want to cause pain. You
Yes.
want to protect your children from any kind of pain. So you always think of those things like, how will they react? Will they be okay? Will they
Hmm.
ever get over it? Will they,
Hmm.
because as a parent, you may have experienced it yourself. You may have lost your parents,
Right.
and you know the pain, the cycle of emotions, and you may think to yourself, can my child handle that? Like, will they be okay?
Hmm.
So yeah, it is a different kind of series of thoughts, but I honestly think that anybody, if you love somebody here, you will
Hmm.
always think about who you may leave behind.
Hmm.
Because the truth of the matter is, it could not be your kids, could be your spouse,
Yeah.
it could be your parent,
Hmm.
it
Right.
could be a whole host of people that you love and care about that you wonder if they're going to be all right. And
Hmm.
I know this is such a morbid topic. I feel so bad. I feel like we're, I don't know. It's a morbid topic, but it's necessary.
Yeah. It's definitely necessary. I mean, like that's the thing. Like it's morbid, but it's not made up, and it's I can say unfortunately because I know that God did not create us for death.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only thing that we all can relate to.
Yeah.
No matter what walk of life you're from, no matter what language you speak, your background, your socioeconomic status, like everyone will die or has dealt with losing someone that they love.
Man, that is so true, Oslin.
Hmm. But it is morbid. I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Like it is, it's hard to talk about because we all know it's unnatural. It's so unnatural.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like what?
Wow,
Um,
I didn't even think about it. That was such a good point you just made, though. It is a universal thing. It's something
hmm.
that anybody can relate to.
Yep.
Wow, that was a really good point.
Hmm.
But yeah, that was I. This book though, I like how he ended it because him ending it on the he went to what was it, the Cape of Good Hope or something like that, the
Yes. Uh
Cape of,
huh.
and him sitting on that edge, which is ironic considering he starts the chapter with his friend jumping off of a like the side of a mountain like that,
Right.
like,
Hmm.
but he ends it reflecting on one that's one of the biggest in the world,
Right.
and he scoots himself right to the edge, looks over,
I'm gonna be
which
freaking out.
I'll tell you, as I was reading that,
Hmm.
I'm gonna give it to him. I'm gonna give it to the author. He wrote that so vividly.
Yeah.
He wrote that so vividly that I
Hmm.
felt myself nudging up to the edge. I felt the emotion of
Right.
being up that close to the edge. I felt the wind that he kept describing.
Hmm.
I felt the whole thing. He did an amazing job
Hmm.
capturing that moment.
Right.
But he's talking about how he scoots to the edge and he looks over and he looks out and he has all of those welling feelings of fear and emotion and all of those things, and then it almost passes. It just passes after he sits there for a minute. It passes. He slides back away from the edge and he's walking him back down, to go back, I guess, to the base of the mountain or whatever. And he passes a gentleman by that's like some Australian gentleman's like, well, are you okay? Because
Hmm.
I guess he looked
Flushed.
flushed, maybe.
Hmm.
Yeah. And he just says, I feel alive.
Mm. Hmm.
And I just, man, he took it full circle. Two different events, similar
Right.
circumstances,
Yes.
but how you viewed the two things. Oh, man. Anyway, it
Yes.
got that part kind of, it struck me. The ending
Hmm.
did strike me. But that was some vivid writing, boy.
Yeah.
He did his thing on that part.
Absolutely. And you notice that was his theme throughout the book also, like showing polar opposites. Remember the example of the two guitar rock
Mm-hmm.
stars? How one of them, like the two, like he used so many stories, so many examples,
Yes.
but they were usually one to prove the opposite point of the other.
Yes.
Which was really nice. Yeah. He's a great author
He
overall.
is, and he has some very he has vivid writing that's very relatable.
Hmm.
Very vivid and very relatable writing. It's just something. But yeah, that ending, I was sweating. I was like, don't get close. Don't get any closer. But he actually sat and dangled his feet off the side of it.
Right.
That's how close he got to the edge.
Yes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I could not.
Mm-mm.
I could not.
Couldn't
I'm
do
I'm
it.
a risk taker type of person, but no. Mm-mm. Some stuff, because I feel like I'm so goofy or like clumsy that I would accidentally fall.
Me
I,
too.
I, I would trust myself. I would trust my stability to be able to get that, to do something
That
like
was the
that.
first thing I thought. I was like, man, if I was that close to the edge, I would probably, like, I don't know, hit a pebble. Like my
Right.
foot would slip on a pebble, and it just something
Yeah.
odd would happen
Something. Right.
that would send me flying over the edge.
Yep.
So yeah, but it's almost time for your gym drop. I'm curious what your gym drop is this week.
Yes. So
I want to hear it.
my gym drop is actually um the portion about the guy he was writing about, Ernest Becker.
Mm-hmm.
And so we kind of touched on it a little bit, but I'm just going to read it as he wrote a portion of this. So this is from the last chapter, chapter 9, under something beyond ourselves. And we're going to where it says the denial of death essentially makes 2 points. Number one, humans are unique in that we're the only animals that can conceptualize and think about ourselves abstractly. Dogs don't sit around and wonder about their career. Cats don't think about their past mistakes or wonder what would have happened if they had done something differently. Monkeys don't argue over future possibilities, just as fish don't sit around wondering if other fish would like them more if they had longer fins. As humans, we're blessed with the ability to imagine ourselves in hypothetical situations, to contemplate both the past and the future, to imagine other realities or situations where things might be different. And it's because of this unique mental ability, Becker says, that we all at some point become aware of the inevitability of our own death.
Mm.
Because we're able to conceptualize alternate versions of reality, we are also the only, because we're able to conceptualize alternate versions of reality, we are also the only animal capable of imagining a reality without ourselves in it. This realization causes what Becker calls death terror, a deep existential anxiety that underlies everything we think or do. I feel like we can relate to that.
Yes. Absolutely.
All right. This number two. Becker's second point starts with the premise that we essentially have two selves. I have to pause on this gem drop real quick because this is why I chose it as the gem drop. T.
Yes.
I've read other books and other, whether I say I read other books, listen to podcasts, other things where people always acknowledge that we have two selves.
I've heard that many times. Yep.
And he calls what he's about to start talking about is conceptual self, but the other version in other books, psychology, is your self concept. How that's a
Mm-hmm.
totally another image of who you are. So when I'm like, here it pops up again. That's what really. But okay, so anyway, get back to it.
No, that I want. I love when you start talking about stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. All right. So it says the first self is the physical self, the one that eats, sleeps, snores, and poops. The second self is our conceptual self, our identity, or how we see ourselves. Becker's argument is this: we are all aware on some level that our physical self will eventually die, that this death is inevitable, and that its inevitability on some unconscious level scares the shit out of us.
And it does.
Right. Therefore, in order to compensate for our fear of the inevitable loss of our physical self, we try to construct a conceptual self that will live forever. That is why people try so hard to put their names on buildings, on statues, on spines of books. It's why we feel compelled to spend so much time giving ourselves to others, especially to our children, in the hopes that our influence, our conceptual self, will last way beyond our physical self, that we will be remembered and revered and idolized long after our physical self ceases to exist. Becker calls such efforts our immortality projects, projects that allow our conceptual selves to live on way past the point of our physical death. All of human civilization, he says, is basically a result of immortality projects. The cities and governments and structures and authorities in place today were all immortality projects of men and women who came before us. They are the remnants of conceptual selves that cease to die. Names like Jesus, Muhammad, Napoleon, and Shakespeare are just as powerful today as when those men lived, if not
Wow.
more so. And that's the whole point. whether it be through mastering an art form, conquering a new land, gaining great riches, or simply having a large and loving family that will live on for generations. All the meaning in our life is shaped by this innate desire to never truly die.
Isn't that something?
That's so deep. It's so
Isn't
deep.
that something? But it's so true.
It's so true. It's so true. And it's really one of those things. I feel like death is, for me, it's always going to be one of those things where you can't necessarily talk about death in creation without talking about God. But when God created Adam and Eve, they were not supposed to die. They inherited sin. Sin leads to death. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But they were not supposed to die. So that's the reason. You know what I mean? Like even though it's buried and it's
Mm-hmm.
like generations and it's like this whole thing, death is very unnatural for us.
That's why
That's
you hear the
why,
saying, "The wages of sin is death."
yep, absolutely. Yep,
Yeah,
exactly. Because once, exactly, it all ties into that,
Mm-hmm.
but that's
It's
true.
just
Like,
amazing to me when I look at it when
mhm,
they're talking. He's talking about children,
yeah,
and you think to yourself, speaking as a parent, I think to myself, yeah, yeah, you do all of those things. You want your child to love you and
mhm,
hopefully remember these things, and hopefully, you know, even down to writing the grandma's recipe down and passing it
mhm,
on to your child because you want that's your way of passing that person
right,
on, like keeping
right,
that person
mm-hmm,
going, and still it is all a immortality project.
mm-hmm,
You're trying to leave something,
right,
anything,
mm-hmm, yeah.
so you're never forgotten.
So you're never forgotten.
Some people have children just for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like especially, but what I mean, I guess we do it here now, but think about back in the day, like we watch those timepieces of people that were old English and they would
Mm-hmm.
want to have a kid just to have the name continue. That's
Mm-hmm.
legacy. That's literally like when I'm not here, somebody has to carry this forward.
Mm-hmm. And they would keep trying to have a child until they had a boy that could carry the name.
Right.
They would have multiple girls, but that wasn't good enough. They needed a boy because that was the
Yep,
only way the name
exactly.
was going to live out. But yeah, and we've been doing this since the beginning of time,
Yep. Yep. And
trying to
so
leave a mark.
and trying to leave a mark. Exactly. And people have been successful at it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, people have been successful at it. People have been pioneers for different ideas, creations. Like we all have the ability to do that because we can
Yes.
create. We have natural talents. We have talents we can acquire. We can take it to whatever level we want.
Mm-hmm.
But help me to the purpose of him bringing that out was eventually to say that if we are doing, I don't think he was talking against immortality projects. Like he
No, he
wasn't
wasn't.
saying,
It wasn't in a bad way. He was
yeah, it
just
wasn't
saying that
saying
we
don't
all
do
do
this.
that. Yeah.
I think it was more so like don't don't focus so much on your immortality project or like focus so much on your legacy after you're not here that you miss the, like you said, you miss the dash.
Yeah. The opportunity to live in a
Right.
meaningful way for you. Like you're missing some of those opportunities in that dash to do things
Mm-hmm.
because you're so fixated on the immortality project.
Yeah.
Like that's what he was saying. Not that they're not good things and that they're
Mm-hmm.
bad. He wasn't anti
Right.
immortality projects at
Right.
all.
Yeah. So I want to make that point too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't know. It I don't know if morbid is the word, but it is definitely something that makes you think.
It's
You
heavy.
know, it's heavy. That's the
Yeah.
word. It's heavy. It's
Mm-hmm.
heavy. And I feel like that heaviness comes from the uncertainty. The only thing that's certain is that it's going to happen, but there's so much uncertainty, whether based on what you believe, based on your beliefs, based on your culture, where you're from, you
Mm-hmm.
know. what happens, so that part being uncertain leads to people being scared. But if there was a way that we could know for certain, everybody know for certain, not my belief, not your belief, I mean, like, everybody know this
Yeah,
for a
on one
fact,
accord. Yeah.
on one accord, I don't think we would be scared.
I don't know.
That's, I don't
I don't
know.
know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I
I
think
think,
some people would still be.
yeah, and I can understand it. I can understand, but I think a lot of it comes from the uncertainty of just not knowing.
Hmm. Now, I'll be honest with you. I don't want to. I don't want to know the date and time. I don't
Me
want to know any of
either.
that. I have
Please
no interest
no.
in that. I think a lot about that when I think about when I watch the stories of like death row inmates, like what that has to feel like, a torturous thing to know
Mhm.
a date and time, and then they'll
Yeah.
go through that, get to the date and time, and get pushed back, and
Ah, how dare
then
you?
have
I
to
didn't know
go
they
over
could.
and over again. Oh my God,
There's
no.
something so simple that I never thought about. Like, what
Hmm.
if what if somebody's on death row and they're saying like this is the day you're gonna be executed, and then like they push you back 3 days.
Hmm.
Excuse me, if you don't take me now, that's how I would be.
Yes.
Like, do not prolong it after you told me, and I'm like mentally preparing, and you gonna tell like no. Yeah, that
People
has to
have
be.
gone through that 4, 5, 6 times.
Oh my gosh.
Like where they've gone there, done all the things, the preparation things,
Hmm.
seeing their family, all that good stuff, only to have it pushed back.
Ah,
That is torture
that's torture.
on a human psyche, I think.
Yeah, that's
Not
torture.
that, some of the crimes, it's like, yeah, but
Hmm.
but at the same time, I just think that's a torturous way to live. So I would not want to know that part. But
Right.
if we, like you said, we could all be on accord with what that means
Hmm.
at the end of it all,
Right.
I think we would have less fear. I think you're
Yeah.
right.
Hmm.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
But man, this was it
Yeah.
brought it full circle though.
Hmm.
Full circle. Because I think his final chapter is basically like, let me bring it home to you what this means. What I've talked about this whole book. Now I'm trying to bring it home to you
Hmm.
in a real way.
So, what would you say your top? I'm not gonna give you a number, but your top takeaways from it,
From
the
the
whole book,
chapter or from the
the whole
book?
book. Hmm.
Wow. My top takeaways from it was that I always, when I'm reading a book, I try to apply it to myself where
Hmm.
I could see myself in it.
Hmm.
Uh, Spending way too much time thinking about what others think,
Hmm.
spending way too much time trying to leave a mark,
Hmm.
not really utilizing my time in a way that is fully, I mean, don't get me wrong, I live a happy life,
Right.
but I think that there are things that I could improve upon. What I
Hmm.
took from the book is that I have wasted a lot of time worrying about things that really didn't make any, and we can always do that in hindsight, look back
Yeah.
like, man, I spent all this time worrying about something that didn't mean jack,
Hmm.
not a hill of
Like
beans.
just by thinking about it gave it meaning.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And I've given life to something that wasn't even worth it.
Hmm.
I gave it more momentum because I'm thinking about it, I'm fixated on it, and it really had no, in the grand scheme of things, wasn't worth the time.
Right.
I think my main takeaway from this book is being very selective in
Hmm.
my energy, what I give my energy to,
Hmm.
what I give my time to,
Hmm.
and my mental resources to,
Absolutely.
and to try to focus on living the most fulfilling life based on
Hmm.
my personal values.
Yep.
That's what I
Absolutely.
took from the book.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with all those. And another point that I know I will carry is it's a mixture of the chapter that said you're not special
Mm-hmm.
and a mixture of and then you die.
Mm-hmm.
Because between both of those, it's like I'll make it personal to me. If I'm a person, which I am, is a naturally kind of adventurous, ambitious type of person.
Yep.
Um, so far in my life, one of the things that has um troubled me, I guess you could say, is the idea that I have to do one thing with my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like up until this point, I've had so many different things that I catch an interest in and I want to try, and maybe something else catches my eye and I don't want
Yep.
to do that thing anymore. And then I like kind of beat myself up because I'm like, crap, I didn't stick to that or I didn't finish that. But I have this other thing that I'm excited about. Well, what I'm going to do is stop. First of all, I'm going to check where's that measuring stick coming from?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the measuring stick coming from that I have to do one thing at a time? Who's telling me that? Okay. And secondly, when it comes to failure, when you're trying something new, when you're trying something different that you've never done before, you may know people that have done it before, but no one immediately around you that's done it before.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be okay with falling on your face and failing. Like you literally are not that special. Like nothing says that you're gonna do this thing and you're gonna excel immediately. You're gonna have results overnight, and it's just gonna be a walk in the park. you know, and
Yep.
nothing's saying that you won't get tired of it. So I think,
And no reason to have a pity party about it
and no
because
reason to have a pity party
somebody
about
else
it.
has failed just like you failed.
Exactly, and, and no reason to try to label yourself because you didn't
Mm-hmm.
do something. And I feel like me adopting that attitude will allow me to just flow through life a lot easier
Yep.
because I've been the type of person that is the hardest person on myself. I've been
Mm-hmm.
that person. I feel like I've, you know, made adjustments to not be that way. But historically, I've been the hardest on myself, and for what? I'm
Yep.
not that special. I'm not that special. Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, hello. I love that
Almost, it's
chapter.
almost like telling yourself when you don't achieve, or like when you start something and you don't complete it, it's almost like you're saying, I'm supposed to finish everything. I'm supposed to be the
Right.
best at everything I lay my hands on. That's
Exactly.
kind of what you're saying. Is
Exactly. Yeah. And when you try to measure, and just like he said in that chapter, when you try to measure yourself to that type of standard and
mm-hmm.
you fall short, you want to feel like crap about yourself. But if you just go into it with the idea that you're not that special to begin with, first of all, anything that you do, you ought to just it's gonna be rivaled at it. Like, oh wow, like I'm
mm-hmm.
saying something random, like say I want to start a food truck. Okay, let's say I want to do a food truck, and I kick off the food truck and I give it a year, and it's either a failure or a success. Regardless whether it's a failure or a success, going forward, I will be happy that I did it, that I gave
Mm-hmm.
it a try, that I dipped my toe in the water and said, this is something that I want to do,
Yep.
regardless of what that is. So, because you go from that chapter to chapter 9, at the end of the day, kapow, I'm gone. You know what I mean?
At some
Like,
point. At some point.
at
Yeah.
some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the things I definitely took away is just the subtle art of not giving an F in regards to the standards that I place on myself, and of course the things I can't control and standards that other people might try to push on me.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
hello, Chef. Chef made his way back.
Hi, Chef. How are you? Chef, I subscribed to your channel the other day. Because
Man.
I was on your channel, T, and I was like in the comments, and I was like, "Oh, look at Chef! I always see Chef on our live, so I subscribe." That food, oh, I was like, "I gotta show my
Oslin.
husband this. I gotta show
Oslin.
Logan this,"
Yo.
because his whole
How cold
page
is
looks like
that chef? I'm
Logan's
like,
explore
yo,
page.
now I'm hungry. Oh
Yeah,
my God. Oh my God.
yeah.
He knows I watch all of his videos.
Yes, his whole YouTube channel looks like Logan's explore page because Logan loves to cook. He loves to
Hmm.
cook. And so he'll be like scrolling for like inspo. And when I tapped on Chef's page, I was like, oh my gosh. So
Yes.
yeah, I need to show him your
Yes, please
page.
tap into chef because I'm trying to tell you, boy.
hmm
But yeah.
so
That
T, oh, I'm
yep.
listening. No, what you gonna say?
What were you about to say? I want to
Oh,
know.
I was gonna say, well, you got about 10 minutes left for our
Hmm.
hour, and I was gonna ask you what's next for Pages and Perspectives.
Oh my goodness. We will be having a poll this week, you guys, of some new suggestions. We want some suggestions from you too. So what we're gonna do first, we're gonna put out a post and just get some ideas, some more book
hmm
ideas, and then we're gonna have our poll.
Yeah,
But join us next week. We're going to do almost like a free for all. We
yeah.
want to hear from you guys. We want some people to come up. We want to
hmm
talk about
Chit chat,
how this
check
has gone
in
so
type
far. Yeah, like a
vibes. Yeah.
check-in, a
hmm
crowd check-in where we're not just going through a book,
Right.
but we're actually interacting with everybody that's here because we want
hmm
to hear from you too.
Absolutely.
So,
And T,
mhm,
one of the things too is I know we'll like recap, what we've done so far, and we
mhm.
have a whole year ahead of us. But I feel like I would love to get a nonfiction book in at some point.
Honestly, I was thinking about that.
Really?
I was actually
I
thinking
don't
about that.
honestly I don't know where to start with nonfiction. Like,
I don't either because I don't read a lot of nonfiction,
but
so
you
I
say you
don't
like
really know.
mysteries? You like mystery books, or what was the kind of you said? Suspense or something?
I love Stephen King books, so that
hmm
those are my jam. But
hmm
I don't know. I don't. I'm trying to think of the last nonfiction book I've read.
Stephen King would count though, right? Because he's a
Yeah.
storyteller.
Hmm.
Okay, okay,
He's
okay.
just a storyteller.
Yeah.
He's not talking about a real life. I hope.
yes, I would love
I
to read a
um.
nonfiction book and be able to talk about like the characters.
Hmm.
That's something me and my friend Courtney do whenever we watch TV shows.
Yeah.
Because since we met in 2020 pandemic time. We worked together. We was the only two people in the office. We got on a Netflix binge watching kick. We honestly we graduated from it, but the way we would talk about the show, like the characters were real. It was
You
so
guys were
like it
deep
was
diving.
so like it just opens you up because it's
Hmm.
like the when people create books, TV shows, like they create the characters as if they're real. So be
Hmm.
able to talk to somebody about the characters and the character's journey and what's happening and all it just be so much fun.
I think that would be a good change of pace
Yeah,
for
I'm
our
thinking
next book
I
to
would like
be
to. hmm Some
like
type of fiction or
some type of
story.
fictional book. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good change of pace because I love nonfiction books and I love these types, but we've done pretty much two
Uh
in the
huh.
same kind of realm.
Yeah.
So we need to break it up a little bit.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind.
Hmm.
I'm open to throwing that in a hat.
I'm
Once
down.
we discuss and
Yeah.
talk every Sunday, but I'm open to throwing a nonfiction book in the hat. Um,
Or a fiction
because
book.
oh yeah,
A
yeah, a
fiction
fiction
book
book.
because
Yeah,
we're
sorry,
reading
a fiction
nonfiction.
book.
Yeah.
Because honestly, yeah, I don't think I've read a fiction book since high school.
I haven't read one in so long, so I would love to. It would
Yeah.
just kind of just to get into some characters, different
Mm-hmm.
personalities, and stuff like that.
Storytelling. Yeah.
Hmm. I think it would break up the
Mhm.
seriousness
Right.
of the
Yeah.
books we've read so far. We need something that's kind of a
A
little.
nice middle ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so we're going to be talking to you guys about some options. We're going to put out a post just to give us some suggestions. If you have a book like that's like a fiction book, even a nonfiction book that
hmm
you're like, man, I want them to read this, or this should be a good book to read for us. We're
hmm
gonna drop. Let's drop a post and let people just kind of throw some
Yeah.
ideas out there. Then we'll put a poll together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, so we wouldn't start the new book until not next week, but the
Mm-hmm.
week after.
Right.
So that would give time for everybody to get the book if you want to read along and
Mm-hmm.
all that good stuff.
Yep. Absolutely.
But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this though, because it just opens my mind to different things. I love to
Mm-hmm.
hear your perspective. I
Mm-hmm.
love some of the people that that have come up and
Yeah.
their perspectives on some
Yeah.
things. Um, but I do, can I say I do
Mm-hmm.
wish that we could have more people come up. But it
Yes.
seems when we put the link out, my link is pinned. No one wants to come up. But I
Yeah.
understand too, because I'm not a person that, I think a lot of people think they have to be on camera,
Yes. Okay.
which
Yeah, we do
don't.
that. We need to make that more like you don't have to be on camera.
Hmm.
You can just come on. We can talk to your icon. It's
Yeah.
perfectly fine, especially if
It's
we know
just really
you.
about hearing from you.
Yeah.
But the
Absolutely.
chat's good too. The
Yeah,
chat's
and
good
I love
too.
the chat, and I appreciate everyone that's come,
Hmm.
and supporting me and T on our Sunday book club. You know, I just I love it. I
I do
love it.
too.
Yeah, I really do.
I absolutely do too.
It's just fun, and it's I don't know. I can't really describe it, but it's very enjoyable. I love mixing. I love being able to mix things that are fun and enjoyable, also with personal growth.
Hmm.
And like we were saying, even if we don't read a nonfiction book, you still gain personal growth by
You
reading
do.
other books and just having your mind expand. I
Reading
wonder
is
if,
a very, very good for you. It is
yeah,
very good for keeping your mind sharp.
hmm,
It has benefits aside from just personal growth or learning from
right,
nonfiction. There are benefits to reading. So,
absolutely, yeah, and it's a way that you can experience cultures, because we think about
mhm.
ways we can expand our, knowledge of cultures and stuff. Of course, you can always eat and
Mhm.
visit, but
Yeah,
even reading from people, their thoughts, their ideas, it is very powerful. I enjoy it. It's
it
like,
is.
music and other forms of communication and art. It's really
Mhm.
nice. I
But
had a
Oslan, we
thought.
finished our second book.
We finished our second
I can't believe it.
book. Yay!
We've been so consistent with this. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah. I'm very, very, very proud of us.
And I appreciate you so much
I
for
appreciate you so
even
much, T. I really do.
taking your
And
time to do this. We've been so consistent with this, and I like I said, I really do enjoy. I enjoy it a lot.
hmm yeah, and I'm looking forward to next Sunday just being it'll be more like, before we did our first official episode, we just got
Mhm.
on, we talked about all kind of stuff. It'll be more like that. And I'm looking forward to that and having people come up and
You know
just
what I
relax
think?
and chill. Hmm.
I think we should do that between books.
I think that'd be a good idea. I really do.
Yep, I think we should put that in between instead of just going from one book directly to the next
Yeah.
book. That we have like a
Right.
just like a chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a little I love that. I really do love that
Hmm.
idea.
Yep.
And it'll be perfect because like I said, this weekend we're going on a mini vac trip. No, you have your hunting trip every year.
Hmm.
Logan is like that with fishing
We do
every year.
that too in the
Oh, with
summertime.
fishing too?
Yeah. It's about time for us to start going fishing right
Oh,
now.
what
Yeah.
what time do y'all go fishing and what do y'all go fishing for?
Now, we love early morning. We love nighttime fishing.
I mean like seasonal
Oh,
time.
season,
Mhm.
spring,
Mhm.
like the end of spring is
Mhm.
good for trouts, like
Okay,
trout
trout.
season. So
Mhm.
yeah. So we usually go to Pennsylvania for trout.
Okay.
Um, and then we just go all some long. Like I could fish every day. I'll be
Yeah.
quite honest with you. I love the feeling of it. It's very peaceful.
Mhm.
But I like hunting too.
Yeah,
I like that too.
I haven't done much hunting, but fishing, I'm actually okay, so when I go this trip, I'm just hanging out.
Hmm.
Like Logan's gonna be bass fishing. we're going with another family. Logan, they'll be bass fishing. I'll be hanging out, which I'm perfectly fine with. But when we go in April, I'm gonna learn how to sockeye fish.
Oh wow.
And I'm probably gonna know my husband because I put it out there. I want to learn it. I'm probably gonna be doing it before we go in April. But that's what I want to learn. I
You
want to
know
learn
what I want
sockeye
to
fish.
learn?
Hmm.
And I can't remember what it's called. Somebody in the chat may be able to tell me. You know
Hmm.
where they go out with their boots on and they have that long.
Net
Oh no, not a net, but it's like they have
fly
a
fishing.
fishing pole. Yes,
Yes.
there we go. I've never
Yeah.
done that
I've
before.
never
I've
done
never
that
done that
either.
before.
I never done that. I would love to do that too. But that's one me and Logan both have to learn together. I don't think he knows much about fly fishing.
Have you
I
been
is that
fishing at the ocean yet? Like from a
yes.
boat in the ocean? Yeah, I love that.
Hmm.
I just like fishing. I'm not really into like trout fishing as much as Luke is. He's
Hmm.
more into trout fishing.
Hmm.
I just like I don't know. I just like
Yeah.
sitting on the boat
Hmm.
throwing out line. I don't care what it is. I don't care
Yeah.
what kind of fish it is. I don't care like whatever I get. But and bass fishing,
Hmm.
I'm not good at that.
Hmm. That Logan
I'm
is a
not good. I'm
Logan
not
is
good at
a
bass
beast.
fishing.
He's a beast at bass fishing. I mean, like last couple weekends, one weekend it was him and his buddies. They caught 50. One week they caught 37.
Oh wow.
Other day they caught 17. The other day after that they caught 22. Like he's definitely goaded when it comes to the bass fishing. But I don't necessarily have a genuine interest in that type of fishing, so to speak. When he taught me how to do saltwater fishing, like you say in
Mm-hmm.
the ocean, I love
Yep.
that.
I
I
love
just like
saltwater
I
fishing.
like saltwater fishing. Bass fishing is a technique type thing.
It is, and
It's a
that's why I said
technique.
I'm not good at it. I'm not good
Yeah,
at that at all. Like
it's
Luke likes
definitely a
it,
technique.
but I'm
Hmm.
not good at it. I'm not good at it at all, at all. But I
Yeah,
love watching it on TV. I watch
I
all of the tournaments.
yeah I've been
That's one
watching
of the things that I
tournaments.
watch.
But when he does bass fish, I kind of just go and just relax on the boat because it is
Hmm.
relaxing. But I do want to learn sockeye. Like, um,
You
I don't
got a
know.
video that.
Yes, I am. I am actually. When we go in April, I'll record it. I might record my journey. I don't know. I've been thinking of different ways to pick up this camera and start recording and doing stuff like this. But I am grateful for Pages and Perspectives because my one of my primary goals was to not let my YouTube channel die like I did last year. So thank you, T, for getting on here with
Oh
me every
man, I
Sunday
enjoy
and
it.
do. I know, but I still, it's like this is my goal, like to not let my YouTube channel die. But
Hmm.
I'll start integrating other things pretty soon.
Well, I will be watching. You already know I'm going to be watching anyway.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I would love to see. I actually want to put some fishing stuff up here. I have some hunting stuff up here
Hmm.
on my channel, but I would love to put some fishing stuff up there because I do enjoy fishing too.
Yeah. Hmm.
But I'm always, people get a little eh with hunting because it's like, you'll have people like, oh my God, I can't believe
Yeah.
you would, nah. So, nah.
Hey, oh, I told you, I think I told you, but one of the shows me and Logan watch is Naked and Afraid. It's a
Hmm.
really good show. But, a lot of times people on there, they're killing animals for the first time. But what I love is that, like, they think the animal.
Yes,
They don't like it's a certain level of respect,
there
even
is a
with
respect to it.
hunting, that
Absolutely.
it's not just you're just killing the animal and
Mm-mm.
like it's like they literally are like thank you for providing food like
Hmm.
it's like it's respect.
I would never hunt something for the fun of hunting, like
Yeah.
just to kill something. That is
Hmm.
not cool. Like, not
Yeah.
in my opinion. If you're
Hmm.
not gonna eat it or donate it to somebody
Right.
who will, like, I don't think that's right.
Yeah.
I don't think it's cool to just slaughter for the sake of slaughter.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
weird. That's like you have a problem. Like,
Yeah, but
in my opinion.
right. Now, that's the reason I said that, though, is because maybe sometimes people don't see that side of hunting,
Hmm.
where it's like people are really grateful. They're not just
Hmm.
out there. But like you said, it's YouTube. Anything you put on YouTube, you open up to the whole world for opinions. So
You
yeah,
got somebody that's
yeah, like
gonna
you
say
said, T,
something
yeah.
that day. Yeah. It's like I give up.
Right. Absolutely. Well,
But
T,
yeah.
this has been very enjoyable
Yes,
as
it has.
always. And I'll see you next
Yeah.
Sunday. And anybody that's still on, y'all have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week.
Yes.
Sending y'all love and positive vibes always. And
Always.
we'll see you all this time next week.
Next week. Bye, y'all.
Yay!
Bye,
Bye, everybody. Bye, T. Talk to you
Oscar.
later.